A former Indian president once said his greatest achievement or honor is to be remembered as a great teacher. I'm Clarita Nyantechua Anoche. Let's go for a quick break, and when we come back, somebody wants to honor his teacher.
Tete kwashi di koko ba Ghana ha 1879 omane nyamfoso bebre efi koko yi mu se koko yi betena ama yen nyina dia gise fertilizer bebo fertilizer ba ko akuafo nyina gya tuma mu bohu se any agricole litovit fertilizer hwe 30 ml French 15 liters na woso no afi fa bow koko ni spray fa koko no ahaban ni dua any abra koko no egu hwere agricole litovit fertilizer die Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana aye hwehwemu asayase se cocoa board enfama ekuafo nyina Ministry of Agriculture so ekanfu agricole litovit fertilizer ma cocoa no nyini ye ope agricole litovit fertilizer chira kwan ne ya na cocoa fo no edim agricole litovit fertilizer original cocoa fertilizer.
Ye mama kwaba enne teacher kesie bi wo yentem Teacher Odame. Ya mama kwaba ba Teacher Mmo so.
Yeah.
Mr enne misuma ye teacher. Enti wo betro myself amame.
A friend me Eugene Odame. My part 50 until your back.
The own so be college.
Me started me Juma. I was Nafti. Because school on Nafti.
Oh.
And then I me secondary school. Now me school on Nafti. Me started as a sound production student. And now me 3 years.
3 years.
I was Nafti. And me and I'm a national service. I was Nafti.
Hey.
Until me national service no. Now I say me started a Juma. But now me need say my editing.
Editing. From sound to editing.
Exactly, because I mean any time no. Only the editors and sound men work together.
Okay.
Until me I was developing that interest. Until now me started more on Nafti. Nanka me yam kra editing. And at that time no rector now say almost 2 spaces to employ. Now yes when national service me answer. Into no me menka ho.
I don't where you are from.
Me let me name the reason why because me na me nipa obia feel say one person na ye fa na me fa. But now my catch amount for say me sua editing. So me say no for say okay let me trap him by saying say on count. He will decide to obey editing.
Okay.
And you know, I'm say okay, me say me best school bio mu dia. Be mama kwan mama pa school bio. But nothing minimum nothing no. Who school na we. Nti then na me samba school bio. And I'm nti me ba school no me started from what level? I'm so say level 100 there. Obia.
Yeah.
Nti whatever course I you know. Ube level 100. Then no me we. But also we specialization now. Then you go to your area. You know, I can start from level 200.
Yes.
Hey, now yeah, some more.
Addition you.
Me service 100 for minimum na me teacher and I coach my dear.
Now I know.
After see I almost 200 my journey. Okay, that was a nice opportunity. Okay, so me opted for say that's the option there. I'll take it. But as a sound student, no, I'm a school. No, me teacher back home. A friend of Mr. Ebenezer Kwe with him. I'm find the crack and see. na me near jobs onya job bia no PG I was on myself enti onya PG no aframe enti I was making money okay and that time so me that say I wie me first tertiary level there when me wie because nipa nkra wa chia so hwem enti so say me am chia school fees sir enti PG me so say na me ye adwuma as an assistant lecturer or editing department. At the same time, no, me ko bow sound. Until me ye adwuma be 3 years na me new opportunity say be call US. To call US no na ko pa adwuma ko struggle me ko my masters. Me masters in television film production. To me buy no and I me company be friend no Color Chat. Na the late Ricky Osei, Reggie Rockstone Papa, the company. But me adwuma onya no, na me part time so Nafti because now you're walking distance.
Okay. From
Color Chat to Nafti, now walking distance. Until me part time on Nafti. The Nafti was knocking on my door, said me sambra back. Until me knew me je Color Chat no, na Nafti farming. Until me adwuma on Nafti. From 2003. I was head of production from 2008 to 2011. And my classmate back home, a friend of Mr. Abdullahi Awudu, now a programs manager or multi TV. A friend say, hey, you be a man abe support young growth. Because no if you are here, I think 2 years. Until now you want to move on until no hear me. So buy a bon come I'm saying this is also another good opportunity because I love to have challenges.
Okay.
Until no I say okay me ko. Afi me say me ko a. Yeah reta tap at that time no. A friend of Professor Linus Ibrahim or say ahane he.
Me ko an ka me ma anko.
Oh ko he.
Me anka me ma anko.
Eti no back and forth. Enti ama me time me be call multi TV no e delay because I wanted to give Nafti about 3 months notice. So I started training people to take up firm positions because now I was working with other people.
So you wanted to leave the
teaching and go into the professional world.
I didn't.
It was also a challenge I thought say I should take up. Yes, it wasn't about money. Sometimes I'm not people say it was about money, but it was about the challenge. And I was also happy say my colleague at Tanase I say mpese obeboa me. Oba ya so kan no. I say mpese obeboa me. Na e move company no akwa anim. I said okay, that's fine. Until I know any the challenge of getting onto the field and learning more. Until me buy adwuma on TV from 2011. I remember 3rd of May. And me started here. Me started so now here easy. Na 10 channels.
Wow.
Na me 3 channel managers.
Okay.
At that time no, they were working. The 4th one no was Joy News. That's Joy News and start here. The 3 channel managers no. I remember Ricky Anoche was in charge of Adom Inshira and I think another one. And Nanaya Sapon was in charge of Senior Freak and also on the channels. And Nanaya was Riffin Dion, not in charge of sports.
Okay.
And Fred in charge of sports.
One who say myself no. More market. Until now draw half page Teacher Mmo marks say one myself we say be occupy say. Mommy go break him right ya ba ya beto aso.
Da ongo ye. Adia ongo ya mami da wasida. Da ongo ye. Ongo.
Minia, efia ba ne yedio, edro so bejewa, eya trema. Se obebo ni wabusua ho ban efrin tuntum ene moa wa nkasai ni wo mu a.
Any na use ongo insecticide spray. Esan say I any purposely for Africa weather. Any system na esan lemon flavored fragrance womunti. Yema wuni wabusia. Use ongo insecticide spray. Na mo wuni wabusia ho by enfrin tuntum. Any mo wan kase ni wo mo ho. Etu phone free. E was 0544 347017 and 0574 065307. Ongo insecticide spray.
Insect killer.
Sawu sprayer. Freedom for 15 minutes. FDA. Asheshe sa edwadi nkratoe mu. Ajatum say ye.
Mugusu market there. Say me hu baby ayedru body na ye chro. Mr Odame waha enti ye beto aso. Mr Odame. Multi TV ho na wie ho na ada so ana.
Oh dabi me do multi TV 6 years. And I thought I was getting a bit the same things, you know, for me. Me knew so at that time I thought okay, like I said, I mean I love new challenges. Now if you say my pressure,
they want you back.
They want me back. It you know me try 6 years on multi TV. It have pressure almost every time be a pressure. And I'm sure I'm okay. Teaching is been part of me. Okay, I have even when I was at multi TV, I was finding time to come and teach. So why not? I can go in full time to teach. It wasn't easy because that time now me pay on multi TV now. I couldn't. Now I had to come back to NAFTI. I didn't be me. I'm kind of. I was like, what? Seriously. But like I said, teaching is one of the things that I want to do. So I sacrifice all those stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Teacher Mmo. Have you ever regretted going back or being a teacher?
Oh, being a teacher, I have never regretted being a teacher because I love to learn and I love to share. I have something I tell my students when I step in front of them. They say it's a create and share business. I won't know everything. There are things I'm moving in my meaning. And I a tertiary institution. Into Buha or Yeduma and our school. Into a lot of experience. Into the minimum me share. The Muslim share with me.
So are you fulfilled as a teacher?
Oh, teacher there, yes, why not? I love to share information. I love to even at Multi TV. When we started doing live programs, we need more hands. Okay, with the professionals, not a bar. Was 7 a time where he's coming from area. And you can say on na yeah asem. Okay, and I got some of these young people are if every private institutions to come in.
Good.
So cameramen, soundmen, basically and I make makeup.
Okay.
Uba, we work with you. And I've always said, because of my love to teach, I can always impart knowledge. What I needed from everybody was attitude.
Good.
Because I believe, good attitude that you can learn, or you'll be willing to learn. So even at Multi TV, I brought a lot of these young people in. Some of my bosses didn't understand. They didn't agree with me.
You brought some of the
many young people. That be not. I'm in trouble. I'm called private media schools.
Media schools, not NAFTI.
Not NAFTI.
NAFTI no students no Kaibi.
Oh, I'm does. But one me jump back NAFTI no for me jump back Multi TV no. Kofi Ampadu Welbeck was one of the persons that me boss can't say me funny pambra me friend no me friend Kofi Ampadu no or say oye juma of pharmacy. I'm so Kofi, you were one of the best students at NAFTU. And the what jai media juma ekoye pharmacy aden me can't say ombra or say omba. And now ono efre me other colleague be a friend unit.
Me try no. But said there me can say bubo bi din a utimi bo ni din na oda wakoma so. Eti yenko na yenko hwe omo a omo kai wo. nipa na okai wa onunti ye de wa ba ha ye celebrate no ye nkohwe no emra.
Okay.
My name is Welbeck Ampadu. I'm a producer director at Multimedia Group Limited. I remember about 8 years ago, I had an encounter with a man who has actually changed my life. He goes by the name Mr. Eugene Odame. I met him in level 100 at NAFTI. At school, when I became the SRC president, he was the main lecturer responsible for student affairs. And that marked the beginning of our real relationship. The truth of the matter is that I really enjoyed a lot of camaraderie from him because he believed in me and always wanted that whatever I perceived as a student leader and whatever I thought of as a student leader, he helped me achieve it. There were some that he had to talk me out of them. I am somebody who is quite difficult to talk out of issues or out of things. But he has a certain verve that enables him talk me out of a lot of things. Especially when he sees that I'm taking emotional decisions, he talks me out of them and he tells me why I needn't do certain things. After NAFTI, I went to do a few movies with some Kumawood production houses. And my experiences there, as well as some bad experiences I had had with some mainstream producers, made me decide that I was not going to pursue this whole television film production business anymore. So as a young graduate who had just finished school like 1 or 2 years, I just decided that, okay, then let me branch into something that would fetch me more. Luckily for me, I had the opportunity of working with a pharmaceutical company. Whilst at the pharmaceutical company, as much as I was not enjoying my job there, I still felt I had to be there because it would fetch better than all the film productions that I had gone into. Then one day I received a call from this same Mr. Odame. When he called me, I remember the specific statement that he made. He said, and I'll say it in P. Kofi, Matusi, I say, what's the one year movie production be? Say, pharmacy ajuma. Then I was like, not really, but the truth of the matter is that I'm not finding the joy in the production that I so much envisaged. So he said that, no, I'm not allowing you to do this because you were one of my best students in school. And I will not sit down for some of you to just enjoy all the training that we gave you at NAFTI and then branch into another field. So he said that if I was willing to come, he would get me a job at Multimedia. The truth of the matter is that at school, at NAFTI, one of the places I prayed to go and work was Multimedia. So immediately he said I should come to Multimedia. I was very, very, very happy. I couldn't go because the one who helped me get my job at the pharmaceutical company that I was working for is somebody I so much revered. So I turned down the offer of going to Multimedia, even though Mr. Odame had given me that. But after 1 year at the pharmaceutical company, I said that no, I think that I need to go back to that love for production. So I called Mr. Odame, who was then the head of production at Multimedia. I called him again and I said, boss, you called me a year ago that you wanted me to come. Is that door still open? And he said, yes, it's open. If you are willing to come, I would ensure that you get in here. So he helped me out. I applied, went for the interview, and eventually started work there. The reason I'm saying Mr. Odame is the best teacher I've met in my life is that he did not only identify a potential in me, he also believed in the potential in me. And he ensured that I do not branch out of that potential. And as I sit here, my livelihood, what I am, what I've become today, and what I'm becoming is because of a push from this man, Mr. Eugene Odame. In fact, the truth of the matter is that I went to multimedia and collected a lower salary than I was collecting at the pharmaceutical company. But the joy that came with the work at multimedia, the people that I met at multimedia, and everything that I've become out of multimedia is because of the push from my lecturer, who had also become my head of production at the corporate environment. When we were in school, we used to call him Syracuse. Syracuse, the reason we called him Syracuse was that I think that when in his former days, he went to Syracuse University. And as principled as he is, and as studious as he is, he would always make references to the fact that when he went to Syracuse, they did this, they did that in America. So a lecture would hardly pass by without you hearing without you hearing the word Syracuse from him. So we used to certainly call him Mr. Syracuse, but that was on a very light side. Mr. Odame, say I'm passing teacher Juma ye nyame adwuma. Nyame ka kire wa na say nyame a wo hire nipa. Wo nhira wo mame. With us.
So you heard him. A teacher is not just someone who goes to teach and mark exams and all. Welbeck Ampadu, say what does. Do you remember this, your student?
Oh, you know, no, SRC president at the time no one nothing, no. And that time now I'm here patron. Until I became the patron to the SRC. And I remember Kofi at the end say. So it's because of BBC yeah. Unless say one man very good reason why no and better. And that's the kind of person. So when you Kofi Kasa, you must be sure say, oh, can asema a bit to me as an agent. And we had a lot of arguments as a patron because opposite way we see the Kofi at some point and then what to go and do will be I'm saying the Kofi way it won't work for you. The Kofi minimum the power from that point from NAFTI and he was a very good student. He was very serious. I remember in the production the kind of back and forth that Kofi went through before he finished his production. BBC I say or some Mr. Man say Patrick say if I'm able to persuade him, he changed his mind. At the end of it all, his production came out very well.
What that's it. And then you are being celebrated. Is there a teacher you want to celebrate too?
Mr. Ebenezer Kwe. With him there.
Oh,
but it was one person he shaped my life in NAFTI. I was the only student or NAFTI at that time, no.
Hey, it will be Juma no lecturer.
No, so that other years, no student, but me level, no, na me nkwa. Na person me na for kodi agro cross that be terminate nation there.
Hey, ukodi agro.
I say
na e dey na we dey relax.
Oh, say you prepare answer, but it's the old school nkwa there. Bibi I say terminate na ye nation there.
Nyamisha. Na Mr. Ampadu Eda wasino, yan kani in passing keke. Or mamma dear, semi fama. Citation. Semi fama. So let me try and read it out. I say citation in honor of a great teacher. Teachers spread the light of wisdom in the society and make our lives better. So it is very important for all of us to send sincere appreciation to a teacher. And your influence in my life has been very impacting and still is. You teach all the other professions and you made a person and a professional out of me. You took my hand, opened my mind, and touched my heart forever. I look back with appreciation to all the brilliant teachers, but with sincere gratitude to you, who touched my being. Today, the little I can do is to tell you in all humility, Teacher Mr Eugene Odame, Mmo. Eti, we ye kakra, wa ye nti fa kobo ho. Upeja ati na hu a, o say enye bibia mpo a with this is fulfilling enough for the profession. Okay. So on behalf of him, we hand over this citation and say, Teacher Mmo.
Okay. With that Kofi Ampadu, I say, like I said, he's not the only person I've impacted though, but he's one person who I think has constantly opportunity to open a piano or bomidin. But there are a lot of people that have impacted. Wow. I've shared my experiences with a lot of people that have helped raise. But I make a check Kofi Ampadu say,
Amen.
Now, he'll keep moving up, up.
This has been a very interesting conversation with a great teacher. My makeup is by Upendi Makeovers, and my dress is by 22nd Nita. Get their numbers down there and they will sort you out. Catch me next week, same time, same place. We might be celebrating your teacher. Call the numbers and let us say Teacher Mmo to all the wonderful teachers out there.